Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of Dawn Chorus. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on the internet. And if you want to support them, they also have a Patreon, which is Dawn Chorus VN. I should remember all the URLs for, these respective games, if, they're simple like that. Anyways, in the last Let's Play, we swam with Rune, and unfortunately he didn't take his shorts off. Yeah, well, we did check him out though. And yeah, we had dinner with everyone here, and now we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Now, I'm feeling like the thing I want to do in this game is, be around people, reconnect with Mikko as a friend, and have some deer sausage if I can. He is nice and he is kind of really attractive. Just saying. Though, I want to just kind of hang with them most of the time. I mean, I guess we could go, like, hang with, like, we have been neglecting him just a little bit. Before I even notice, Lake and Jorgen are gone somewhere. Too bad I thought about tagging along with them. Okay, sure. Tag along with Rune and Devon? I mean, that's weird. Do I have to, like, be on the route for a couple of things, or is that timed, or what? Probably not timed, but still. Now what I do? Do I hang with maybe husbando or friendo? Decisions. Let's see, Travis. Bjorn is the bear. Travis is the tanuki. And we already know those guys. I don't like being pressured, especially on the internet, because I'll just be like, well, I'm going to click this, and then I'll go completely Rune route, and then completely Bjorn route, and, whatever. Yeah, we just stay with Mikko. Yeah, let's go with Mikko. Yeah. Oh, a chair's tipped over. Okay. Can't see it here, but I can see it over there. Oh, that was a good meal. Yeah, we got lucky with this guest house. It still has nothing on ryokans, though. I guess that's some kind of Japanese thing. I think you'd have a hard time trying to find one here. Mikko chuckles softly. He's sitting on the floor, listening to the conversation, while me and Bjorn sit on the bed and Travis on the other. Lake and Jorgen left the cafeteria as soon as they finished eating, as did Rune and Devon. Actually, back a bit. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's an interesting thing. I thought it was something where it was like, no matter what you pick, you have to go with these guys. But I did choose these guys, so, We sat for a while, talking before Mikko suggested we go to his room. Yeah, I know. Let me dream. Or let me dream. Nothing beats a Ryokan. Yeah, let's just look that up. Beep. Ryokan. Yeah, type of traditional Japanese inn that features tatami matted rooms, so like the floors, communal baths, and public areas where visitors can wear yakata and talk with the owner. We should definitely stay in one if you ever visit Japan. Imagine having an onsen in the same building, sleeping in futons, having elaborate multi-course Japanese dinners every day. Okay, what's an onsen? Is that the main thing? Everybody puts their feet under? Japan. I guess that's the pool hot tub area thing. Sauna. Remember what Rokans don't always have an onsen. Also, we have a sauna and swim pool here. That's even nicer. I'd rather sleep in a bed than on the floor in a futon. And the food here is pretty good too. You should open up to other cultures too, Travis. Travis seems unconvinced. You were simply saying that because you've never been in one. Okay, got me there. I didn't travel much, and when I did, it was mostly in Norway. My parents are the most boring people in the world. They prefer to spend their vacations in the country, so besides visiting relatives, we never went anywhere. Aw, that sucks. What about you, Mikko? Did you travel much? A bit. My parents weren't very fond of traveling, but we've had a few trips together. We're mostly visiting Scandinavian countries, though. I've been to Iceland and Denmark, and obviously Norway. Oh, and once we were in Poland, visiting Katowice. Apparently my grandmother was born there. I was little then, and I don't remember much, though. Mostly old buildings and industrial chimneys. Industrial chimneys? Okay. Oh, industrial chimneys. I wonder how that country looks now. It seemed sort of desolate back then, but a lot has changed in 15 years. Definitely. I'm sure it looks better now. I would like to see more of the world, travel somewhere beyond Europe. You're really lucky to have seen Japan, Travis. I guess I am. By the way, Mikko, could you play us some of your music? I didn't know you mentioned you record stuff. I'd like to hear it. Mikko smiles and moves closer to his gear, switching it on. Sure, I have a few tracks I'm working on, or was working on. Mostly ambient stuff, though. Oh, maybe you'll like this one. I tried doing something different than I usually do. I think I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. Mikko presses something on the groove box, and the music starts playing. Travis lies down on the bed and closes his eyes, listening. Bjorn does the same, slowly lying back next to me. I close my eyes too, leaning back against the wall. This is nice. Wait for the beat to drop. Anyways, I missed it a lot. More than I thought. Sitting with my friends, listening to music together, talking a bit, just chilling. Yeah, I miss that too. Last time I did it was, I don't know, at the beginning of high school? I don't know, at the beginning of high school? There's so many ways you can read a sentence. It is nice indeed. It reminds me of the evenings I spent with Mikko at my home. Only back then we were listening to different stuff. Mandarin, Fantasy, Paw, Tekre, Bass Lifeforms, all these cosmic and trippy electronic bags Mikko loved and introduced me to. I used to have a tradition that I enjoyed a lot. Every few Saturdays, just checking the audio. Seems a bit high though. Let me turn it down just a smidge. Just a smidge. Every few Saturdays, I would invite Mikko and a few of our mutual friends to a listening party. Wait for the sunset and enjoy the music in darkness, either on the couch or on the floor together, and then I'd play one of our favorite albums. Usually stayed silent for the whole duration of the album, just enjoying the music and each other's presence, like we're doing right now. As we stopped spending time together, the tradition died out. Until now, I forgot about it completely. And only now do I understand how much I missed it. I guess I've been a bit lonely since I moved out of Finland, but I filled my days with work and didn't even notice it. Yeah, I always hate that word. It's like you're busy with something like making videos and you kind of... How do I put this? You neglect your feelings and you don't even know it, Kind of how I felt at the end of Adastra. woof. Like Shelter, I played Shelter. I like Shelter, but it didn't have... It's a fun game, but didn't have that connection I felt with the Dastros. It's like, ooh, woof. Anyways. Dark, do you remember our school trip to Turku in middle school? Yeah, we did the same thing back then, if I remember correctly. Only we were listening to Mandrain, I don't know, Fantasy, and a bunch of people we didn't know, all lying on the beds and the floor. Next to me, Bjorn shifts on the bed, his fuzzy arm brushing up against me. Everything about the situation reminds me of time we spent together, almost like back in middle school. A wave of nostalgia hits me. I get up and walk over to Mikko, who's sitting on the floor and leaning against the wall. I sit down next to him. Dark. Or dark? I don't know. He again hesitates for a moment, but finally leans against me, resting his head on my shoulder. Mikko. Just like his voice, mine is also full of tenderness and emotions I cannot name. I can kind of think of one way, but I don't know how... I don't think that would be an appropriate way of emotion. How would I put it? Something that's a bit more foreign to me, unfortunately. Just like old times, isn't it? It's weird that we're old enough to say old times. I don't think you are. I'm just joking around. Though, it is weird to be in university already. Surreal, but at the same time, so very real. It's a different kind of freedom, and the solitude that comes with it. To not be burdened with any responsibilities. What? I guess, like, family responsibilities? We're free to do whatever we want with our lives. Yeah. We can stay up late whenever we want. Eat a whole cake for dinner. Drink from the morning into the late evening. Don't do that. Forget about classes. Forget about everything. I did that at Joy. Unless you're like very lightly sipping, you don't come out that well. Once you taste that, it takes a lot of discipline and willpower to make such a schedule and stick to it, to have any control over your life. Do you? Yes, I might say I'm quite good at it already. How about you? Maybe not having control of your life once in a while isn't that bad. Maybe we need a period like that in our lives. A time of complete chaos and disarray. Maybe, if we come out of it stronger than before. I don't really miss home yet, but sometimes I miss living there, having someone who wakes me up every morning, not having to make all the decisions myself. It passed quickly, believe me. Try coming back home for a few days and you'll see. Yeah, you're probably right. I got used to this freedom. Also, now I feel like I miss those times, but I wasn't really the happiest back then, I had some issues with myself I couldn't deal with until a lot later. Yeah, I suspected that. You're also a flaming homosexual, too. I didn't help you much, did I? Something burning in his eyes, a bright flame I don't recognize. Oh, no, don't ever think about things like that. If anything, it was me who hurt you. I can't stand seeing you like this. I'm sorry. Tell me something, Dark. Are you happy now? I'm not sure about happy, and I don't project on this person's thing, but let's just say happier. Like, you feel better. I think I am, at least here, in this room, at this moment. That's good to hear. I feel like I wasn't ever really living, only waiting for my life to start. Hey, can we not be existential? I mean, just a little bit existential, but I don't know. I want your friendship and some venison. But your route will be the one I do next. Ah, heck. All of a sudden my mind's like, hey, how about we open up a whole can of emotions and memories? And like, fantastic. I love the memories of me having emotional relations, having emotional feelings for a friend who wouldn't reciprocate. Ugh. And then would repeatedly ghost me, but that's another story entirely. I don't want to wait for anything any longer. I want to feel that I'm alive. I can feel him snuggle up to me, his lithe lupine body fitting against me. This looks totally different from what he was, in that dream. He catches me off guard. My body reacts almost instinctively. I put my arm around him, hold him in close. All these evenings we've spent together come back to me, condensed into one singular moment. Mikko. Scent is familiar and comforting. He smells like sunny evenings, green meadows, like my best memories. His canine whiskers tickle my neck, but I don't mind that at all. I have my wolf back. I don't care about anything else. I don't even hear the music playing anymore. There's just two of us here, these four walls, and nothing else. Mikko. His denim jacket is rough under my paws, but underneath it is my friend. I didn't even know I missed... My friend I didn't even know I missed so much. I snuggle him close, and he holds close to me, completely still. Then, when I start to pat his back gently, he shakes a little, and for a moment, I think he's sobbing. But when he shifts his snout to rest on my chest, my t-shirt is dry. Dark. I'm here. No, I kind of want to go to Rune's room. So, maybe we'll just hang out with, Lake later. I don't... fuck. My emotions are feeling all discombobulated. Sorry, just... emotions. Kinda want to go to Rune's moon. I mean, Rune's room, moon room. I just don't want to feel like I'm just kind of ditching Lake. Because I wanted to hang with Lake, but then I kind of reconnected with Wolf. So I don't know. It also... It also is kind of like uncomfortable that I'm going like, hey... I'm feeling like we're kind of connecting, well, really connecting with Mikko, and like if we're doing emotional with him, like, I don't know. Can we be platonic? I guess that's a question that would actually be a real life thing where it's like, hey, are we... Because he will definitely, like, this is this thing, everybody has emotions for us. One way or another. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, let's just hang out with Lake. I'm in my room. What's up? Lake responded to my message almost instantly. I came here hoping to find someone, but since dinner is oddly quiet in the whole guest house, I just lazed around for a while before deciding to text Lake. Got any ideas what to do? I'm down in the common place. Come over if you want. We'll think of something. Okay. It's better than sitting here alone for sure. What's up with that picture with the red-eyed kid? Is that like cabin fever or whatever? For sure, I get up from the sofa, walk in the direction of Lake's room. Hey, Liku. Hey, you got here fast. Come in. Jurgen's inside too. I've invited Mikko already. That's a picture right there. Oh, I didn't think that this would turn into a party. Hi there, Jorgen. Jorgen. Dark. So I'm making fun of my name. When I enter the room, Jorgen is sitting on the bed and tapping his phone furiously. Gives me a quick glance before going back to writing. The orange-tinted room, afternoon light reflects in his thick glasses, partially obscuring his somewhat feminine face. I kind of am not sure if he's a trans character, because he could quite be. You know? Maybe scarf giving it away, kind of thing. Who knows? Standing here, looking at him, I feel like he's really somewhere far away, and I might never reach him. Not until he would reach out to me and pull me in first. Sorry, I had to mute for a sec. I definitely wouldn't call it a party. Besides, I thought about going out for a walk. It'd be nice to move for a bit after dinner. Playing table paw ball is nice, but that's just standing in one place flailing your paws. I see you're energetic as always. We can go. Yeah, we can go. Why not? Spending time outside here is a pleasure, compared to the crowded city. Oh, I definitely get what you mean. You know, sometimes I miss my old town. Sometimes I miss it too. But then I remember that's what living there looked like. I mean, there was just nothing to do for most of the year. You might be right. I enjoy living in the big city too. I love the energy it has. Just, you know, sometimes it's good to be back in nature. Why Mikko? By the way. Why Mikko, by the way? I thought that you didn't know each other much. Ah. Yeah, but we bumped into each other in the corridor when we were coming back to our room before talking. He said he has no plans, so I told him he can come over. Suddenly, there's a knock at the door. Mikko's head peeks in through the gap. Mikko! Hi, can I come in? Ah, speak of the devil. I invited you, didn't I? Come on, come in, sit down, hop in the bed, do whatever you like. Keep your pants on. Maybe. Thanks. Sorry. He enters the room and looks at the three of us, visibly confused. Were you talking about me? Oh, no, Dark just mentioned you. Oh, okay. So, what's the plan? What would you say for a little walk? Why not? I'm down for whatever you're up to. Or we're up to. Behind me, Jorgen puts down his phone and hops onto the wooden floor. Okay, I'm ready now. Let's go then, while the sun's still out. Jorgen, already in his jacket, walks up to the window and looks out. We don't have much time. Come on then, chop chop. Clothes on. Or at least, flannel jacket. We leave the room together. Lake leads the way, walking in a lively step, while Jorgen leaves as the last one and locks the door before catching up to us. The sky is painted in a myriad of red and yellows. It must be close to sunset already, but the sun is hidden behind the clouds. It's really chilly outside, at this hour already, but the views make it worthwhile. I love the winter so much. It definitely is my favorite time of year. Yes! I love being able to keep warm when it's cold because I like that feeling. Like going into a nice warm bed where it's just a bit chilly, but then it warms up nice and just like, nice warm bed. Or when you have a jacket and stuff. Or when you have a nice hot cup of coffee, you know? Go into a nice warm building. Unlike summer where it's like, I'm hot and sweaty, hot and sweaty, hot and sweaty. There's a billion bugs all over the place, etc., etc. Add a text. Sweater season. Hell yeah. It's nice, but I wouldn't want it to last all year for sure. Come to Texas. You maybe have a couple of weeks of winter, except for that one great freeze. I wouldn't mind, frankly, but I'd rather have to put on a coat than overheat constantly. Yeah. Plus, I love snow so much. Yes. Saying that, he flops backwards in the snow. What are your favorite seasons then? For me, it's autumn. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet time of the year. Late autumn, at least. What about you, Dark? Yeah, these two are pretty good. That one's pretty nice. Summer, Alaskan summers, pretty nice. You know, because it's a lot of this. So an Alaskan summer, pretty nice. Texas summer, go fuck yourself. Yeah, about winter, I like it. They have the breaks, they have Christmas, Halloween's close to it. I like winter the most too. It's the best season for taking photos. Places that look ordinary in other seasons suddenly become ominous in winter. Okay, ominous. Plus, the lower temperatures, I can take photos at higher SIO values without too much grain. I don't understand that, but sure. You, Mikko? Mikko thinks for a while before replying, staring at the open sky. I think my favorite season is always the current one. There's something really special about each one, and I find myself enjoying the season I'm in the most. I love snow too, and I love the peacefulness of winter brings. Everything seems still, and everything's around is covered with white stuff. Before he can continue, he gets hit by a snowball from behind. The look of surprise on his face is priceless. His tail completely straightens up behind him too. Oh, you. He leans down on the ground, quickly makes a snowball of his own, and immediately throws it at Lake, who's running away from him. Rogan looks at the three of us with a startled look on his face, before hiding behind me. I don't mean to stand still, though. It's been years since I've been in a snowball fight. I crouch on the ground and start making a snowball. Before I'm done, I get hit by one thrown by Lake. Damn, he has good aim. For me, it was always quantity over quality, and when I mean quality, I mean aim, because I can't throw. The fresh snow was soft, and just perfect for making snowballs. I finish mine, quickly patting it well and making it harder, and throw it at Lake. He ducks under it, throwing himself onto the snow again. Damn, what an agile beast. Mikko has hidden himself behind a tree, but from where I can see him clearly, I assemble another snowball in seconds, hoping that I won't get hit with another by Lake. Taking a few steps towards, I lance the snowball at an unsuspecting Mikko and hit him straight in the chest. He turns toward me surprised, and I wave at him, before a certain lion pounces on me, throwing me onto my back and into the snow. Hello there. Before I can react, he knees on me, grabbing paws of snow and starts rubbing it onto my snout. Lake, my god, it's cold. You don't say. Grab a pawful of snow and throw it at him. He starts laughing and gets off me, falling onto his back on the ground next to me. Phew. He just rises and falls rhythmically as he pants, winded. His breath's escaping his muscle and turn into small clouds in the cold air before floating up and dissipating. I need to slow the fuck down. Breathe, GamerWolf. Maybe that's why I talk too much and I don't have enough air going in my lungs. That was fun. Certainly. Although, I can't feel my snout now. Or lem. We lie there in the snow in silence for a bit, before Lake speaks again. You know, spending time with you is fun. Everybody really wants that tiger. Sausage. Meat. I'm really happy I have a chance to do that here. Back in the dormitory, I often felt like you were avoiding me for some reason. Oh, sorry about that. I had no idea you felt that way. I never avoided you. I struggle with keeping up with studies and progressing with photography, so I really have time to meet. Maybe I should rethink my priorities. Yeah, it'd be good for you if you just relaxed and did something fun from time to time. Like now, for example. Yeah, I liked it a lot. Hey, don't mean to interrupt, but I'm going back to the guest house. It's quite cold already. See you two later. Hey, wait, we're coming too. I get up and grab Lake's paw, lifting him from the ground. Where's Jorgen? He's over there, waiting for us at the door. Shaking the snow away from our fur, we return to the guest house together. I mean, Lake's pretty nice too. A woo? But as our time here, that's gonna be the end of this Let's Play. So comment, cause I like comments, tell me what you like, dislike, tips, tricks, always. If you like my YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and share the videos to help it grow, and please remember expand your ammo to help control the pet population. Now I'm liking Lake too. I mean, I liked Lake before. He seemed like a pretty cool guy, but also he just, I don't know. I'm already kind of set. Like, I want to hang out with everybody, but I also kind of want to... Ooh... how do I put this without pointing out a specific person? Kind of want to retire to a room with my boyfriend. But first I have to develop boyfriendship, you know? And you can't exactly do that. I mean, you can do it every day, I guess. If you're into each other. But still, you know? Anyways, until next time, let's play me, GamerWolfSix of Dawn Chouse. Or Chorus. Not Chaos. Dawn Course. On if you want to play this game, internet, if you want to support them, Patreon. So thanks and see ya.